Taylor looking for the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Josh Gordon.
Great placement by Tyrod Taylor, putting it to the outside. I wasn't sure Gordon was going to be able to.
In 2013, Josh Gordon was one of the best young wide receivers in the NFL, compiling 87 catches for 1,646 yards and 9 touchdowns. He had it all except for one issue: the devil's lettuce. In 2010, while at Baylor University, Josh Gordon was found asleep in his car in a Taco Bell drive-thru with weed in the car. He was suspended. In 2011, Josh Gordon failed a drug test for marijuana. He was suspended. In 2013, Josh Gordon failed another drug test for marijuana, and he was suspended for the first 2 games of the year. In 2014, Josh Gordon failed a drug test for weed, and he was suspended for 10 games. Josh Gordon failed another drug test in 2015 and was suspended for the whole year. In 2016, Josh Gordon was suspended for the first 4 games, but he went to a rehab facility for the final 12. In the 2017 season, Josh Gordon was reinstated in Week 13 against the Los Angeles Chargers and finished out that year. In 2018, Josh Gordon was traded to the Patriots on September 18th after showing up to the Browns facility and not being himself. But what if Josh Gordon never became a stoner? So when Josh Gordon's issues become really relevant is in 2014 when he gets suspended for 10 games. So I believe with adding Josh Gordon to the Browns offense, and the Browns won 7-9 that year, they win Week 1 and Week 2 against the Steelers and Ravens. And Josh Gordon did come back later in that year, but I believe with him meshing with the offense for the whole season, I believe that helps them win Week 14 against the Colts, which they lost by 1 point, and Week 16 at the Panthers, which they lost by 4 points, causing the Browns to go 11-5 instead of 7-9. So by going 11-5, Cleveland would have beat out Cincinnati for a wild card spot, since Cincinnati was 10-5-1 and Cleveland would have been 11-5. So that would have resulted in them playing Indianapolis in the wild card round, and I believe that they would have lost that game. So with the Browns ending up going 11-5 that year, they would have picked at number 21 overall instead of number 12 overall. And I still believe at 19 overall that they would have went with Cameron Irving. But at 21 overall, since they went with a D tackle and Danny Shelton at number 12 overall, I believe that at number 21 overall, they would have drafted Malcolm Brown. So the 2015 Cleveland Browns were obviously a pretty bad team. They went 3-13. Their quarterback was Johnny Manziel. It was a pretty bad year. And I don't think Josh Gordon would have made that big of an impact. I think that they only would have won one more game, and that would have been Week 4 at the San Diego Chargers. So with Cleveland now having the 3rd overall pick instead of the 2nd overall pick, and the 2nd overall pick now going to the Chargers, I believe that the Chargers would have accepted the trade deal that Philly gave to the Browns at number 2, and they would have gotten all those picks. So with the Rams taking Goff at number 1, the Eagles taking Wentz at number 2, I believe that the Browns would have done what the Chargers did, and they would have taken Joey Bosa at number 3 overall, and they still would have selected Corey Coleman at 15 overall. So obviously the 2016 Browns weren't a very good team. They only won 1 game, which was a Week 16 game against the San Diego Chargers. But I believe with the additions of Joey Bosa and Josh Gordon, that they would have at least won Week 17 at Pittsburgh Steelers, a game that they lost 27-24 in overtime. So at the 2017 NFL Draft, even with the Browns winning 1 more game, they still get the number 1 overall pick, and they take Myles Garrett. But without them having the number 2 overall pick last year, they don't get all those extra picks in the trade deal with Philadelphia, so they don't end up getting Jabril Peppers, and they don't end up getting David Njoku. So the 2017 Browns, who ultimately went 0-16, were one of the worst teams of all time. But with the addition here of Gordon, I believe that they do win Week 1 against Pittsburgh, a game that they lost 21-18, and just that little spark of offense from Gordon results in them winning that game. So with the 2017 Browns going 1-15 instead of 0-16, They're still atrocious, but they don't go defeated throughout the year. So they're still the number 1 overall pick, and they take Baker Mayfield. But at number 4 overall, the pick that they got from Houston, which they got from Philadelphia, they're not able to select Denzel Ward. So I'm going to conclude here with how the Browns would have done, but the next part of this video is to talk about how Josh Gordon would have been and what type of numbers he would have put up between 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. So Josh Gordon is one of the most talented wide receivers I've ever seen, and I do believe that if he played full years between 2014 and 2017, I believe on average, he would have put up about 80 catches for 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. So I believe that if Josh Gordon didn't have all these issues with substance abuse, didn't get suspended all the time, wasn't a stoner, I believe that he would have established himself as one of the best wide receivers of the 2010s. He'd be up there in the conversation with Antonio Brown, all those guys. In 2014, I believe that Cleveland would have ended their playoff drought. The result of all this also would have been that Cleveland would have ended up with a D-line that would have had Malcolm Brown, Joey Bosa, and Myles Garrett, which would have been one of the best D-lines of all time. Cleveland would have never had to have suffered through the 0-16 season in 2017, but they also never would have gotten Denzel Ward. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching the whole video. So if you guys liked it, that'd be very appreciated if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys disagreed with me on anything or want to argue about it or talk about it, just leave a comment down below and tell me what you thought. Thanks, guys.